Hello, my name is Ed. Today, I am reviewing a small indie game called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Yes!
Good job.
Good job.
See ya.
When I first heard about Brothers, it was described as a single-player co-op game, and that description couldn't possibly be more apt. Immediately at the start of the game, you are given control over two characters, the titular brothers, each using one side of the controller. The older brother controlled by using the left thumbstick to move around and the left trigger to interact, and the younger brother using the right thumbstick and trigger similarly. This led to many moments of left brain, right brain issues where I expected the person that my left hand was controlling to be on the left side of the screen, but was on the right, like this. And this. And this. Well, you get the idea. As you progress through this short 2-hour game, you come across boundaries that only one brother can access, such as a long lever that is too tall for the younger brother, cage-like doors where only the younger brother can squeeze through, or a cliff with a broken ladder that requires the two brothers to work together. This is how the majority of the gameplay works. You move from one area to the next, figuring out traversal puzzles, sometimes working together, sometimes utilizing the strengths and weaknesses of one brother to allow the other to pass. But that isn't why you should play this game. The controls, while unique, are simply a backdrop, a layer of challenge atop a beautifully crafted world that is not the stuff of fairy tales. The game starts out with the younger brother crying in front of his mother's grave, who you find out in a flashback sequence died from falling overboard out on a lake and drowning, while the younger brother looked on. As if matters could not get any worse, his father has come down with a sickness that can only be cured by journeying to a tree far away from their village. As they journey, they overcome a bully, meet a lonely troll, battle an ogre, help a kooky inventor test his inventions, dodge an invisible giant, and much more. Interested yet? Not only are the main story threads compelling, but there are rewards for going off the beaten path too. There are achievements in this game, but you can finish the entire game without getting a single one. But I would not recommend this approach. In fact, some of the hardest hitting emotional stuff hides off the beaten path where you help people that are in need, whether they want you to or not. The presentation is not at all lacking in this game, despite every line of dialogue being complete gibberish. However, the lack of discernible dialogue in no way takes away from the story, in my opinion. It allows the game to tell its story in a way that has more emotional impact. The music is absolutely spectacular. I found myself humming along to the main theme that was remixed a few times, and I loved every second of it. Aesthetically, the game is beautiful. It allows you to immerse yourself in a world that was lovingly created. The game even offers a completely optional set of benches along the journey, which allow you to sit down, take a break from adventuring, and enjoy the view. Every single time I sat down at one of these benches, I took a screenshot, and you can see that in the video right now. All the characters were drawn wonderfully, and the many different types of scenery really show the multifaceted skills of the artists. While Brothers was not my favorite game of the year, that title probably reserved for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, it was definitely one of the games with the most emotional impact on me. Massive spoiler alert ahead. Are you gone yet? When fighting the final boss, the older brother gets mortally wounded, and despite getting to the Tree of Life, the goal of their journey, he cannot be saved. The player then has to control the younger brother as he buries his sibling. And I've never felt that one of my hands was that useless. The controls for the older brother were eerily non-responsive as he pushed the dirt into the grave. It was even more impactful because as a gamer, you're used to using your left hand to control your movement, but the whole time you're using your right to control the younger brother. Once the deed is finished, the younger brother returns home with the medicine for the father and comes across a section of the water that is too deep to wade through. Terrified, he just gives up. This is where the emotional impact really hits home. With the urging of his mother's ghost, he gets up, goes into the water, and you push on that right control stick expecting him to move, and he doesn't. I didn't know what to do. What was the game trying to tell me? Frustrated, I hit every button, every trigger, and when I hit the left trigger, it vibrated, and the younger brother started swimming. This is where the controls and the story all come together. As you progress further and further, you come across areas that before you needed the older brother to surpass, like the long lever or climbing up one of the cliffs. But using the left control stick and the power of the older brother, you're able to pass those areas. Overall, the game was something that I've never experienced before, both with the controls and the story and the aesthetics to a certain extent. I felt like the story managed to get something across that most other games can't get across, despite not having any dialogue of any kind. And in fact, it kind of goes to show you that you don't need big budget voice actors in order to tell a heart-wrenching story, because this is definitely one of those. I just want to say that I hope Starbreeze Studios understands what they have done here and that is so special. I recommend everyone to play this game, and I hope I didn't spoil too much of the experience for you. But it's definitely worth the $15 that it costs right now on Steam, so go get it right now and play it. Thanks for watching. Leave any feedback in the comments below. Later.